Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Business Planning. Can you guys hear me okay at home? I want to make sure that our audio is doing what it's supposed to. Can you guys hear me okay at home?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being flexible on your time as we get started today. We are at the Cottage Grove office. I will tell you the internet is a little bit slower than I would like it to be today here. So you may need to be a little bit patient with me as I do our work, but this is the first of 4 sessions we're going to have together. So we are going to have 4 opportunities to get this done. And each session is going to have a little bit of different flavor to it. So those of us that are live in the classroom at Cottage Grove, they have the paper version of this business plan in front of them. And then you at home, I'm going to show you how to get your agent business plan in front of you here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing my screen. This is, of course, also being broadcast to the coaching blog. So you can come back again and again and say hello to it. Hello, everybody at home. And then everybody at the Cottage Grove office, wave and say hello. Hello. All right. So I'm going to turn my camera off, though, so that we are now focused solely on the presentation at hand. So let's go ahead and get that screen share started. So this is the first year that EXIT Realty International has had digital business plans. And I had a very small hand in it, but I was very excited to be a part of it. And I traditionally have done more of a very direct business plan with you in one-on-one and small groups. We start our business planning sessions earlier than most other companies and most other offices, because I believe that what you do right now will be what you close in January, February, and March. And I have proven that to myself, both good and bad over the years, by either planning ahead or not planning ahead. And so this business plan this year, what I love about them is they are digital. You can download them, you can fill them out, you can obviously still print them out. But what we want to do today is go over and orient you with what's important in these business plans. And then after we do that, we are going to also kind of create a little bit of accountability as a group so that you know when we are going to come back to these business plans. Because one of the worst things you can do is get this business plan done, spend all the time in the world on it, and then do what? Put it in a desk drawer. She Edna just found hers, and it may not look the same as it did last time. Maybe a little yellowed around the edges. We don't want that, guys. And what I'm going to ask you to do, so we have been on the cutting edge of business planning as an office. And that's why I really kind of stepped in and said some things to corporate about what I wanted in their business plans, that they're going to make them digital. Because what we've done for years is we have said, I want a copy of your business plan so that when I coach with you one-on-one, then I'll have that in the coming year. So at least somebody besides you sees it. But if you don't put this business plan in a place that you'll see it over and over again. I keep a copy of my business plan in that black little leather portfolio that I carry with me everywhere. So that sucker is stuck with me. It is also stuck with myself at home. I have a copy of it at my desk. And then I give a copy to a few people in my kitchen cabinet. You've heard me talk about my kitchen cabinet, my friends that are in kind of a accountability and a BNI type group with me together. You need to give this maybe to your spouse so that they see a copy of it. And the last person that really needs to see it regularly is obviously you, yourself, and me. So if you will send a copy of this business plan to me when you are done, where am I going to put it? I used to put it in my Gmail. So I'd have to search through Gmail. I'd make a little folder called Agent Business Plans. Guess where I'm going to put it now, guys? Wise Agent, in your Wise Agent account with me. Because then that way I have it, you have it, and I can go every time that I coach you, because if those of you guys that are in regular coaching with me know, what do? I go into a coaching session in Wise Agent with you, and I take notes, and then I send you the notes and the action items from that session. So now your business plan will be right in my Wise Agent account. So we are going to be living in this document. So where is this document? Well, for every other EXIT office out there, as of this morning, they have to dig through resources and then documents. They have to type in a business plan. They got to find it. Not us. click on My Office, and then scroll down in My Office. And again, my internet here today is running a little slow, so I apologize. Doing what I can with what I got. And in My Office, you will see documents right above our office workbook and onboarding manual is what now? The 2024 Agent Business Plan. And so you are going to want to download that 2024 Agent Business Plan to your desktop or laptop and then fill it out from there. And then you are going to do what? You're going to save a copy of it and you're going to send a copy of it to me. And in the process of going through this document with you page by page today, I think today will probably be the least fun day, but it'll also be like the exploratory day where we all kind of get to explore a little bit. After today, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into sections. You got that email from me earlier. I'm like, I'm not going to repeat the same content 4 days in a row. I am going to go over some sections over and over again, because you know I do like to repeat myself, because sometimes I might actually be right. But I want to every day have a little flavor to it. Today is like, this is orientation day. This is, do you need to Control Alt Delete on your year, on your life right now? For those of you guys that, you know, see me physically regularly, or even just social media wise, you know that I'm on a weight loss / toning up journey that has gotten really fun lately. And it's really working for me. And I want to do the same thing to your business and my business for the coming year, because you guys know that I've actually had a really good year in real estate. I'm beating the curve, but I had a terrible, absolutely abysmal end to my 2022 and start to my 2023. I mean, rock bottom in all aspects. So if today is the day you need the Control Alt Delete, you are going to download this Agent Business Plan right now, and we are going to fill it out together. Are you ready? Let's do it. So you're going to click on that little download button, and then it's going to download for you. And if you're in the classroom with me or you've already printed it out, all of our offices have copy machines, cute color copiers, no charge for copies ever. I will just roll over my grave before I charge you a dime for anything ever in life. But you only need to print out one copy. Please don't murder the trees or my bottom line. Angela will come find you if I don't. We are going to go through this Agent Business Plan page by page today. And then tomorrow, we're going to really focus in on leads. Leads, because obviously, what do we need more of? Leads. We need more leads real bad, don't we? Because there's just so few people wanting to buy or sell right now. That is the lay of the land, no matter what brokerage, no matter what zip code, no matter what state you are in. There is a reason why the National Association of Realtors on October 31st has a special guest presenter to all 1.5 million members for the full hour. It is me. So you are stuck with me in advance. You get the good stuff before anybody else, and you get our version of the good stuff with our technology twist on it. So let's go ahead and get into this Agent Business Plan page by page, because today we're doing orientation. Tomorrow, we are going to do the lead focus. Friday, we're going to do a refresher. Tomorrow, I'm calling Work Harder. Oh, don't you hate me already? Work harder. You're not working hard enough. Neither am I. We're going to work harder. But Friday is more fun because Friday is work smarter. Because I am going to need you to work harder, but I'm also going to help you work smarter. Because Friday is the day we go back to our tools. We go back to Project X and we say, what skin do we have on top of this? And then Mondays is going to be a special treat for you, because that is a motivational day. There's going to be some gifts. They may not be money today, but there will be gifts in terms of money and opportunity for the future on Monday. So I'm really excited about this. So let's dive in. Again, these business plans, when you download them, they are editable. They are editable in so far what we know, because I have been the first one to test these with the staff at corporate. And if anybody knows Sharon Richardson, give her a hug, because I've driven her nuts for weeks, probably more than that. Well, I've driven her nuts the entire time I've known her. But I have been on top of this because I'm like, I want these to be something that are living documents, and I want them to be beautiful. Nobody else has something like this at this point. I'm just so excited about them. So it's big. It is a big document, guys. So there is a table of contents to it. At the beginning, it's a little bit of refresher, like, why are we here? A little bit of like, what's the exit unique value proposition? And then we're going to ask you to do a self-assessment exercise. And I'm going to show you some of the places to go for that self-assessment exercise. And then we're going to go into what? A 5-year vision. Man, it kind of sounds like a vision board, doesn't it? I wonder who was breathing down everyone's neck to get that in there. Last year in review. This is the ugly one. It's the one that we're all like, oh man, ugh. But we got to do it. We got to figure out what went wrong, what did go right. Even if you're new, something might have gone wrong and something did go right. And then what is my new plan? We're going to crinkle up and throw away the old stuff. We're going to go fresh and new. And we're going to talk about it by numbers. We are going to talk about sponsoring. I have never brought that up in a business planning session before. I've always left that. If you remember the old school outlines where I said you can do 3 up to 5 things, and it's an old ugly outline format. And last year we changed it to Project X because I wanted to be more holistic. And this year, the merger of that and the exit corporate one with a lot of my input there, the business plan has to include, in my opinion, multiple income streams, particularly in an environment that is as tough as it's going to be for us the next couple of years as realtors. And then action plan. You're going to talk about organizing your time. Organizing your time. I believe that the most successful people in the world do nothing more than organize their time better, period. I've met some people that I don't think they could, speak their way out of a box. I don't think they could think their way out of a box, but they are so effective with their time. Think about that. Have you met a real estate agent that makes $250,000 or more a year, $500,000 more a year, and they're actually a jerk? I'm thinking of other words, but I'm in a public space. Yes, so have I. You may think I'm a jerk, but you know what? Pretty darn good at structuring my time. Pretty darn good at prioritizing what needs to be done. And then the rest can be a mess. But we don't want it to be a mess because we are going to go into the rest of your life too. We want to say, what are the rest of my life goals? Because if you work yourself to the bone, like I did in 2021, and I cleared almost $750,000, it's the most miserable year of my life. And it was also so shocking to me and so jarring that money doesn't cure everything, but it can make it quite a bit better. So let's try to get some money, and let's also try to improve our life overall. Challenges and solutions. We need to figure out where I am not doing you right. And that's why these are kind of long. And there also is a year at a glance calendar at the end, because by the time that I got done looking at this and looking at what I wanted to do for next year, I go, there is no way. And this business plan was done. And I called Sharon Richardson on her cell phone, the vice president of service, franchise services for EXIT. And I said, I'm so sorry to bother you. And this was late at night. And I said, I know you think they're done. They're not done. There's no calendar. She goes, well, everybody's got a calendar on their phone. I said, no, I want a calendar in the business plan. Because if we're going to really go all out and say that this is this aggressive of a business plan, I'm going to do all these things in my life, I need to break down month by month what the heck some of this stuff's going to look like. This month I'm going to focus on this. Next month, I'm going to try to nibble a little bit off that. It's the compound effect. You know that book that I love, The Compound Effect? It's one of my favorites, along with The Miracle Morning. Little bits and pieces every day for a much bigger goal. You're not going to change the world overnight, but little bits and pieces every day. And then obviously you can just make some notes at the end. There's a cute extra page to burn paper, because in theory, you could do all of this without printing out the paper and send your electronic version to me. But if you are in a classroom with me, like these wonderful folks are in Cottage Grove with me now, tomorrow Joliet, Friday Skokie, we will be with you in paper as well. I don't care which way you get it to me, although when you get it back to me, you do need to scan it to me electronically, because I'm obviously going to do what? Put it into Wise Agent electronically. If you want to hand me a paper copy, that's great. Some of you know me better than others that I lose paper quite quickly. And I also have a habit of hoarding paper and then finding it years later, like some of you do as well. I need an electronic copy so it can live in Wise Agent. So when I am speaking to you in moments of crisis or joy, what are we going to do? We're going to go back to your business plan. So the first page, my commitment to exit, it's just a reminder of what a cool freaking company this is. I personally had to have a come back to exit moment with myself. earlier this year when I was really kind of discouraged about the market. I was angry at myself. I was angry at the staff. I was angry at you. I was angry at the world, and nobody really deserved any of that. I had to come back to it and be like, wait a second. This is a really cool little company, and we got a really cool thing going here. This market is going to be tough no matter where you are. And I started talking to friends of other companies, and a lot of them were lying to themselves. Now most people have woken up. And now my training last October 31st to you guys about don't be a zombie agent kind of looks like Nostradamus. It wasn't. I don't know everything by any means, but I got to tell you, I was right about a lot of stuff. And it's given me the confidence to speak more openly and clearly to you. Here's what we need to do. And remember, EXIT is not a new company. EXIT's been here for almost 30 years now. They went through that Great Recession. They lived through all that. They never laid a single person off during it. One of the only companies that didn't. This office has never laid a single person off. We have literally made do and worked through crisis. So I was starting my office during the beginning of the Great Recession and grew it quickest during the Great Recession. So I am borderline mad, but also borderline excited about what happens when other companies don't do what they need to do. So the next page is, obviously, if you don't have goals, you're not going to get anywhere. And I don't mean to be a downer, but if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail, essentially. So we need to at least do this. If you have an agent friend in this office, or you sponsored someone else into another exit office, or you're thinking about doing so, we are the first ones to do this. I know for a fact, because literally I found a small error and I messaged corporate on the drive down here today. And I'm like, oh, we need to fix something. We're the first ones in, but I want you to be able to share and spread this with others. I think there are components of this digital business plan that you should be sending to your clients. I have a dream board of, eventually we teach this class to our clients. Tonight is going to be a little introduction to that if you guys are going to the event tonight. So we're going to I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm just going to say, here is where the 4 quadrants, I love Project X, 4 quadrants. Here's the 4 quadrants of where we need to go. What are you missing? And if you don't have goals, you're not going to get anywhere. If you don't have a plan, you're not going to get anywhere. I believe that real estate is not that hard of a skill. It is not that hard of a skill. It is a very hard habit. It is you know what to do. You're just not doing it regularly. I've had coaching call after coaching call with people lately, and my energy level is so high, I think it's alarming to a few people. Like, they're like, why are you so excited right now? I'm like, the world's burning. I don't know. I like the smell of smoke. I feel like all of you have the skill. You're just not consistent. You're just not consistent. And what is that? That's action. That's action. So let's get into the self-assessment exercise. I'm not going to do this for you today, but I'm going to walk you through what you need to do. Now, this next page here, the self-assessment exercise, I did this myself, a very similar version of this when I started in the core coaching. $3,000 a month. I don't regret a penny of it. It was over $100,000. I made all that money back and more. I am here to be your coach so you don't have to pay that money. I'm a Brian Buffini certified coach. I'm a core level 3 graduate, the highest level they have. I run one of the leanest and meanest and funnest real estate businesses I know. But I will tell you this much. When I filled this out at core, I had a lot of unsatisfied in a lot of areas of my life, almost all of them. And I turned and I looked at this wonderful woman, Erica Lamb, who is a very good friend of mine. She is an amazing realtor out west. And I looked over and I looked at this pretty lady that's obviously very successful. And she had a bunch of unsatisfieds. It was like, man, we are just not feeling real good about ourselves, are we? And it wasn't that room. That's just reality. And especially in a downward market, because what's happening right now? If you're not making a lot of money, that trouble comes home. That trouble comes home. And it comes home in versions of stress, overeating, spiritual decline, mental health decline. That one I've got a lock on. So, that if you want to come over and talk to me about that one, addiction issues, etc. But I've overcome all that time and again to say you can have all of these checked off unsatisfied, and you can create a goal to get over to at least the middle, if not very satisfied. And right now I am going from middle to the right on physical. I'm going to give myself at least a somewhat on spiritual. I've reconnected with my faith, because I think earlier this year I lost a lot of it for a while. Mental health, I don't know. Family, woo, I got some work to do. How about you? I think some of you know that story. But we're trying. We're getting there. We're getting there. Intellectual, I'm in the middle. I'm not gonna say that I know a lot. I love to read and I love to learn, and I love to share that with you guys. Financial, I'm not even gonna check a box there, guys, right now. We all need to work on that one. But I will tell you, I know how it is to struggle, and I am there with you, and I can help you out of a corner. I can't maybe necessarily give you a loan, because that's never worked out right when I've done that for people. But I will tell you this much. I have worked myself into some really stupid corners, and I've worked myself out of them. And it's, you have to work harder and you have to work smarter. Your business is what you make it. Doesn't matter whether you stay here or go somewhere else. It's going to suck if you don't work your plan. Okay. I am not the magic magician. Exit is not the magic magician. You have to be the magician in your own life. You got to bring a little magic, but I can help you with that. Social and fun. Just make sure it's not all the way over and very satisfied, because sometimes that is a release and sometimes that is a crutch and excuse away from the problems of the day. Trust me on that. Contribution. Are you giving back? Are you giving back? So I'm going to let you fill these out at your leisure. I am more than happy to, when we're done with this at the end of these 4 sessions, send you mine, and you can obviously, I hope you're going to send me yours, but there's no rush to do this today, because what are we going to do? We're going to go back into certain pages of this day after day over the next 4 sessions. And don't think this is the end. You know, if something bad happens, you know, kids in a car accident, I'm just looking at my text of the things that have gone on in the last 24 hours to some of our office family and friends of mine. It's just like, what's going on in the world right now? We will always be able to come back. We're going to hire more agents, aren't we? You're going to sponsor more people into this beautiful little company. We're going to do some stuff together. And that actually brings me to the next slide, the next piece of paper, visualization. I need you to be excited about this. I don't want this to feel like a chore. I don't want this to feel like a chore. And I know it can. I know I can go on hours at a time. I know sometimes I repeat myself. I know sometimes I go in 20 different directions. But I am your coach and I'm free. $3.99, my favorite price. I need you to visualize, though, where you're going to be. And I'm going to do a better job of visualizing where I want us to be in the next 5 years. Because this coming year is going to be tough. This coming year is going to be tough. But I want you to look at the long range to say, I know this year is going to be brutal. You know, I've said this to a couple of you guys. When was the last time you saw me with those fancy alkaline waters or Barry's boot camp or with those nice fancy trips me and my friends? Oh boy, it's been a very small year on Instagram, hasn't it been? I'm not hiding the fun from you. This is what we got. But I got to tell you, I know at the end what comes out of that, because the dum-dums that are still in the sand hanging out with their heads tucked down, not paying attention to what's going on in the world, they're missing out on the 5-year vision. Because what's going to happen? If there are other brokerages that are not paying their bills, because we know there are, I know too much. If there are agents that are not getting what they need, they're going to come to us. Just like as those agents that drop out, you know, we had the 4th quarter dues. Whew, you know, I know what was going on with that. People are going to drop out. What happens to those people that did 8 deals, 4 deals, 12 deals that dropped out? They're going to be your clients, but only if you work your plan. So I know where my business will go. Do you know where yours will go? I want you to be excited about 5 years from now, because this coming year might not be that fun. I'll try to make it as fun as I can, but I want a 5-year vision for you. And I want it to be in all areas, physical, family, business, financial, mental, social, contribution, spiritual. You know, and if you are not the most spiritual person, or you don't want to put that down, if there's a piece of paper that you don't, or piece of this digital document that you don't want to share with me, you can press the Command P button on a Mac or whatever it is on a, it's been so long since I had my regular PC, you can just save something as a PDF and only save certain pages. So if you want me to not see a page, or if you want to share a certain page with me and not others, I will not be offended. If there's a page you want to share with some people and not others, again, you can share part of this with some people and keep some of it close to your heart. But I believe every page of this should be filled out. Now, it's not the end of 2023 yet. So I got a little tiff with a few people when I was pushing for these, because I do business planning early. The reason why I do business planning early is if you are doing business planning in December or January, like some dumb brokerages do, what happens then? You are starting to work that plan in January. When do those closings start to hit from that hard work? If you're doing the hard work, March, April, what did you do in January? Then you starved. You know, every year the business plan has to have adjustments, has to have refreshing energy. So your year isn't over, but it is kind of at the tail end. Realistically, by November 15th, November 30th, you probably know your volume for the end of the year, unless someone comes in and starts writing cash offers on your listings or as a cash buyer. You're starting to see the end. I need you focused on 2024, and I need you to start working this plan to figure out if there's a kink in it. If there's something that you said, oh, I'm going to do Remind farming, and then you didn't really know how to do Remind farming, or you wanted to send just sold postcards and you forgot to pay that credit card bill, so you need to pay down that credit card. What tweaks do we need to do? So your 2023 production isn't over yet, but it's getting close. So I think you can fill this out now and you can come back and amend it later. I don't need really too much on this page to, you don't need to refresh this page and resend it to me later. I'm going to know your numbers too. How do you get some of these numbers? Well, I'm glad you asked. You're going to go into your EXIT Resource Center. Now, not for total days worked. Don't lie. You can go into your Google Calendar and figure out when you worked. You can go into showing time and look at your old appointments. You can really figure out if you're using Google Calendar or whatever your calendar scheduler is in your phone, where were you? So I have showing time connected to my phone. So the showing time calendar syncs up to my Google Calendar. So I know when my showings were, my listings were shown, and I also know where I was as far as a buyer's agent. And I also have my buyer tours where? In Zenlist. So I can go back and look, when was I busy, when was I not? And I also know then the total days worked. That was when I was in the field. How did those days come about? Item 2, total days prospecting. Total days prospecting. What if you started really using Wise Agent properly, and every time you talk to somebody, you noted it in Wise Agent? Because I don't think you're doing that right now. Most of you, most of me, most of us. Total contacts. You know where that is. That's in Wise Agent. Total listing appointments. It's in your calendar probably. Total listings taken. That's in the MLS. Total listings expired. Sadly, it's in the MLS. Canceled, sold, buyer sales. Now, also, how much money did you make? Oh, well, where's that? Let me show you. So that is right in the Resource Center as well. When you sign in, actually, I think I'm already signed in. Let's close one browser tab. This is also on the EXIT Realty Connect app. And I got to tell you, they just did another update to it last night. It is a very nice update. When you're in the Resource Center, you're going to click on My Reports. And then you're going to click on My Report Card. And that My Report Card tells you what the heck you did this year. And it says number of agents sponsored, listings taken, your money. Look at that January. It was a great month, wasn't it? Zero, nothing, flat. But I got to tell you, I will be close to $250,000, maybe over $250,000 by the time this year is done. So I have $3 million in pending right now because I am awake and I am ready. Are you? Agent sponsor. There's going to be another category if I get my way, and normally I do with Exit Corporate, and that's going to be your residual bonuses. How much residual bonuses did you do that month? Because you got all zeros here at the end. That to me is a missed opportunity. It's the reason why I'm here. It's the reason why I have been making decisions so that this company will thrive, even sometimes at my own personal detriment, because I believe in the mission of this company and I believe in what its impact, how it's impacted and helped me. So that last column, corporate doesn't want to do it. they say, well, that's their personal information about how much they make. I said, well, they don't have to share their report card with me then. Because I can see your report cards right now. I said, well, then take that screen out for me. But I want them to see if that's all eggs at the end. Because it's not just the agent sponsored, it's what money you made off those agents. And let me remind you, if you don't know where to find, for now, that report, it's also in my reports. It's just not in the report card yet. It will be. I'll get my way. I'll see all those folks next week. You know how annoying I am. You can go in and you can find your 1099 or your residual earnings report. The residual earnings report is fun because you can go and it goes literally every single deal that you got a residual on. This is the fun one, though. I always say to anybody at KW, EXP, Real Broker, blah, 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 show me your 1099, not how much you made in agent commissions, because I question that too, but I want to see how much you made in residual bonuses or your profit sharing revenue share. Show me the money. And I can show them mine. There's mine from last year, 160. Are you working the system? Are you working the plan? So that is why I'm so passionate about this company. And that is why there is a conversation about sponsoring this year. You just need one. You just need one. Get one person, bring one person on and help them out. So what is your new plan? What is your new plan? Because 2023 is almost over, right? Your new plan. What are the goals? All these fields are editable. I'm going to put that right now. You have a six-pack abs. That is so vain. But you know what? Put a vain goal down. Put something down that makes you proud. I'm a 45-year-old man. If I'm going to have a six-pack at 45, I'm going to like it. Family. I need more time with my mom. I need more time with my mom while I have it. How am I going to get that? I may come back to you on some of these and say, well, how are we going to get there? Right? Business. Well, that's pretty important. What do I want in my business this coming year? Financial. Now, business and financial, you may say that's the same thing. It's not. It's not. Financial is your personal finances. If my business is running well, take my 2021 for an example. I had made a lot of money. Where did it go? Now, it went in some smart places. Thank God it did, because unfortunately this year I had to move it out from the smart places to keep this lovely establishment running well and growing. And I'm fine with that as long as you're going to stay committed to it. Mental. Do we need a spa day? We need a spa week. Do we need to do something different? I need to bring joy into two things every day. My life for a couple minutes and someone else's life, other person's life. That's my mission this coming year. I said joy for this year was my focus word. I don't exactly think we got there, but we're on the train. Now it's finally left the station. What's your mental state? What do you need to work on? You do need to have some fun. You do need to have some fun. What's that going to be? Vacations, etc. There's a calendar at the end. I called Sharon Richards in the middle of the night like a crackhead to make sure that she got it in there. Are you going to give back? What are you going to give back? And this year, it may just need to be time. Acts of service. I would like us to do some acts of service this year. I don't think we have the money, and I don't want your eyes off the ball too much to say we're going to build a Habitat for Humanity house. It is on my 5-year plan. It is on my 5-year plan. It's been on there for a while. But what are we going to contribute? What are you going to contribute? Spiritual. Where do you want to go with that? And then breaking down the numbers. Now, your numbers look different to you than mine do to me. If you need an update monthly on what your numbers are, you obviously can go to your report card, and you can also get with me. And once you've turned your business plan in, I will make a commitment to you, as a matter of fact. If you turn your business plan into me, and only if you turn your business plan in with me, I will give you your personal report from Market View Broker every month. And don't worry, you don't have to make sure that I'm doing it, because it will do it for us. So Market View Broker is an amazing tool so that I can watch what's going on in my business, and you can watch what's going on in yours, and it'll send you a once a month PDF of what's going on. And so when I look at, what's going on in my business, obviously this year versus last, not great. We're going to do year to date. We see some changes coming up. If you do your quarterly performance and you see what's going on in quarterly performance, there's going to be big changes for those of us that are over the hump. So I showed this to you guys earlier. My volume's crazy up because I'm working differently. Are you over the hump? Remember that? Look at that last year. Wow. Man, was I down. And now I'm not back up all the way because that's almost impossible in this market. But watch me. Watch me. Watch this fourth quarter. Watch you. I would love to be in the field a little less, but quite frankly, I need that money to pay the bills for you guys, for us. So my close activity, I'm on fire, and I will continue to be. How am I doing it? Go back and watch every single darn video that I've made with you in the last 3 weeks. I've told you everything I'm doing. There's no secret sauce. There's no Zillow spend. There's no nothing except exactly what I've been showing you. So where do you need to go with that? Let's get back to your plan. Residual income. Not going to harp on that too much right now, but it's coming. Breaking down the numbers. Now, this is a little number at 2-to-1 ratio. I don't love that. Every 2 listings you'll take, you'll sell one. However, and by the way, guys, I got a little bit of an echo. Please mute yourself. However, don't make me find you. That is potentially reality this year, is that not every listing will sell. Does that mean you turn it into a rental? Does that mean you do something else with it? We will be coaching you on that, one-on-one and in small groups. Now, this other interesting ratio here, for every 5 leads you generate, you'll get an appointment. That means like if you take 5 Op City leads, 1 may actually be an appointment. You know what? That could be 10-to-1 for you. Let's work on conversion at some point. But what I wanted to stress with you in this is you need to generate a lot of leads in order to close a deal. It's not 1-to-1. It's not 2-to-1. It's not 3-to-1. I don't even know if it's 5-to-1. I think it's 10-to-1. I think it's 10-to-1. Darian, yep, I think it's so too. I watch those numbers, guys, pretty closely. 10-to-1. Now, if you are a referral-based agent, it could be 50%. I'm batting about 50% on my referral-based clients because someone comes to me that is ready, willing, able, conscious. The souls that walk into that home buyer seminar tonight, and if Lana Riling is on, thank you, Lana and Victoria, because they're the ones that really spearheaded that event for this evening. I wanted to do the online one and be done for the week. I'm tired. But you know what? I got a cup of coffee Edna made in front of me, and I'm ready to go. We will have a good time tonight. That event tonight, I bet almost 100%. I bet almost 100% at people that show up to that home buyer seminar. When people show up to a home buyer seminar, at least in my database, they buy. That is a real good event to watch. So you've got to be talking to more people. We all have to be talking to more people. You can't talk to the same people over and over. You have to get into habit. And we're going to next week work on that habit. There's a portion of our calendar every morning at 8 a.m. I know Kelly Ibsen's on with me. She's like, Nick, those videos are old. You need to update those videos. There's a habit for every day. But I'm going to tweak those a little bit with you because they've got to be not just people you've met. You've got to talk to people you haven't met. And my fault with the core coaching is they are assuming you have a massive database and all those people are ready, willing, and able to buy. It doesn't work in this market. You got to meet more people. You got to meet more people. So we're going to tweak that. 2024 business goals, total days you will work, total days you will prospect. Work. What's the difference between work and prospect? Work is in the field. Work is working with the people you've already started to work with. That's the actual physical going out and showing them. Prospect is the days to get the deals, to get the people. Total contacts you will make, new contacts. New contacts. So I would like to see a lot of new contacts this year, but I'm going to ask you how and why. I'm going to ask you how and why. There will probably end up being an addendum to this darn thing by the time we get through all this. That's going to be the Project X addendum. But how are we going to meet those people? And don't just say Remind Farming. I love that a lot of you are doing Remind Farming. That is not the sole answer to your problems, please. I'm not going to focus as much on total closed transactions you expect. I'm going to focus on the activity, the prospecting, the marketing, the connections you're going to make, and then they will come. I don't like forecasting. I like action plans. So the second half of this is I kind of lost out. This is the part I'm like, well, if you're going to put the calendar in there, then fine. You can put average sales price and average commission check. Why don't I love lines 15 and 16? Doesn't mean that you don't have to fill them out. My massive objection to that is that I don't know where my next phone call is going to come from. I have in my inbox right now 2 deals going. One is for 150,000 and the other one is for 1.9 million. Both contacts of mine. I don't know where my next call is going to be, geographically or financially. So I don't know where that check's going to be, but I will take all checks, right? Every contact is a potential contract. Total number of members you will sponsor. Please put at least one. Please put at least one. If we each brought just one person this year, we would be at 500 people. How the HE hockey sticks are we this cheap to be at, this lucrative to work at, and we only got 250? We should have 500. I've always said that since we got to 100. I'm like, we're going to be at 500. That's going to be the magic number. And I challenged myself to Tammy Bunnell 5 years ago. I said 500 agents and 5 million in residual bonuses. Well, we're going to hit one much quicker than I thought we would. And the other one, we are nowhere near. If you each just brought one person, and I'm going to help you do that. But please put at least one there. Sponsoring. You can watch that 4-minute million video. That cartoon has been around so long. I laughed at it when I first watched it. I'm like, what a joke. Who does that? Who's going to get there? You're looking at someone that is about to, for the second time, have been there. So that is, I'm living proof of that video. And let me tell you, I really did something with that. Saved my butt. My lead sources. This is the page that I'm going to flip to so quickly when I get this from you. I'm also going to want you to fill out the second half of it, which is really, that's going to be your instructions to me. What are you going to do? And what do you need my help on? Is the second half of page 14. What accountability mechanisms can I put in place? It's called Tuesday at 12 noon. You need to be there. You need to be in coaching with me. I think we need to really start bringing into some more groups in place. I've been talking with some people about the mentoring program, how we can implement that without me going bankrupt, because the mentors need to be paid. What type of training do I need to meet my goals? What's the difference between that box and challenges above? This is really more techniques or habits up here on page 14. And page 15 is more sponsoring related, but it also could be just in general, like I need some more training on blank XYZ. I'm going to look at both. I really don't think you need a lot of training on sponsoring. I think we need to focus on what do we need to do to get people in the door. I don't want you to do the attracting as much as I just want you to get them ready to have a conversation with me. Let me take it from there, because it always ends up being a coaching session and needs analysis. You don't know what they need. I'm not saying I know what they need, but I've been around enough. I've coached thousands of agents. I've screwed up dozens of times and led mass scale and fixed it. I can probably help that agent. And if they're super happy where they're at, then great. We love happy people, right? Action plan, just remember what it needs to be: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. I can't stand nebulous goals. This is a big page, 17. Time management. Edna laughed. We all need to manage our time better. What do you need to take out? Is it the 10-minute smoke breaks? I'm done with that. I'm done with it. In 2 months. Saved a lot of money. I think I saved my lungs. What nasty habits have you picked up that you need to stop? And that may be texting an ex. That may be engaging with a toxic family member or friend. It may be drinking too much. I don't know where you need to improve, but that page, we all do need to improve. Mine now is literally getting distracted by 8,000 other ideas that I can do when I haven't done the primary dollar productive activity of my day. Business skills. What designations do you want to do this year? I think that's your designation area. I am going to get another class or two in that godforsaken CCIM done if it just kills me. There are some really amazing trainings right in the resource center that don't cost $1. My goal is to continue to bring you everything for free. Changes and solutions. Challenge, but changes, because the challenges we've already discussed, changes and solutions. And then simple affirmations. There is a need for affirmations. I was in a dark spot earlier this year. I worked my way out of it. You may get in a dark spot. You may be in a dark spot. What do you need to affirm to yourself before you can affirm to anybody else? I really don't care about anybody else's opinion right now. I care about my state first. And then I'm going to go out and spread the joy and the good stuff. Affirm that stuff. I still have the original affirmations that spoke to me from Steve Morris that were, it wasn't his favorite ones. If you have ever used the Prompter app, which is the app from EXIT, it's available for everybody. It's called Prompter, Prompter, Prompter. That app spits out affirmations for you. You know, it's like, we know that these are valuable. And there was a set of 10, and they were all about money and time. And they were so powerful to me. And I brought them to Steve Morris years later. And I said, I really think these kind of saved me. I stuck them up on my wall. They're now stained, and, you know, they're sitting in the closet on my bulletin board that I keep just for like old time's sake. And I brought them to him, and he goes, I remember writing those, because he used to handwrite all of them and they type them up. He goes, I remember though. I didn't even think that was a really good set. I said, that set spoke to me. What do you need to reaffirm before you move forward? And then here's our calendar at a glance. Are there big things coming up that you need to celebrate? I don't want this to be a party planner, but what do you need to do? Break them down by the month. Do you want to read a book a month? Do you need a vacation? Do you want to plan to pay down a certain amount of debt every month? This is the page that I think over time will be many pages, but I just had to convince them to get them in there. And again, every piece of this is fillable, so you can make whatever you want, type anything out in there. And that's it. That's the plan. So what we're going to focus on tomorrow then is specifically lead generation sources. I'm going to go into you. If you've been here a long time, you may remember when it was originally 25 things for your business. Then it was 35, then it was 40, then it was 50, top 50 things. I have to wipe a few of them out because some of the technology doesn't even exist anymore. It doesn't work from that 50. And we're going to go over that list, because you need to narrow down that list and say, I'm going to focus in these areas and these lead generation sources. There are only 4 sources of leads out there in the world. We're going to go into the Project X manual tomorrow for a little bit, which is obviously right next to, in the resource center, that other big plan, which is the one we've just been in all the time. So to review, if you joined us late, because I was late, you're going to go into exitrealty.com, then you're going to click on My Office, and you're going to scroll down, and there are 2 documents. Document we just went over today is the Agent Business Plan. The document we will discuss tomorrow and Friday is the Workbook and Onboarding Manual, because we're going to work in it tomorrow, and then we're going to go back and refresh you on Friday, because I bet you every single one of us has something that we're not using to the max. What questions do you guys have? That was a long, spirited chat by one person. You got your pregame speech? We didn't say anything too embarrassing, so I think we can publish this out in the real world. guys, this is, again, these have to be done. If you don't get these done, I can't help you. That's not a threat. That's just like, where do you want to go next year? Where did you go this year? What needs to, if you thought this year was great, you might want to check into a facility of your choice. I have a list. But how do you share it with me? Great question, Faith. So when you are done with this, and I would be shocked, and I almost don't want them tonight. You know what, guys? Don't do these tonight. Start working on them. Start working on them. You can absolutely go in and figure out what you did this year, because that's not going to change in the next 48 hours. But I think the plan for 2024, you can start writing in these, because remember, these are editable. But once you save it, so you would press Control P and then save it as a PDF, you then send it to, just send me that as an email. Just send me that as an email. And then I will upload it to my Wise Agent. So I've got it right in there. You'll have a copy and I have a copy. And then every time that I have a coaching session with you, when I open up Wise Agent and I say, hello, and then we start, I type in my little notes as we talk, I can stare at that business plan and go, how are we doing? The other piece of this is the first Tuesday of every month. We have Eve doing our amazing sessions. What happens? That's at 10 a.m. always. What happens at noon? Accountability, regardless, because Eve never goes over that full 2 hours. She's normally done an hour. That first Tuesday of the month, because I feel like you're a little more active. There's normally more people there. Bring your business plan. Bring your business plan. Let's make a commitment that time during accountability, maybe for that hour before, if we've got some time to kill, we can sit there and flip through our business plans and look at them. Keep a copy of your business plan digitized, put it in Google Drive, put it in Dotloop, put it in your Wise Agent. Okay? But we are going to have to really use these. And I just can't think of a better way to kick off the conversation than going over them today and just saying, let's review what you did this year and think about it overnight and go into what you want for 5 years from now. And I will share a little bit more about what I want 5 years from now tomorrow with you. And we got to figure out how we're going to get there. And that's what we're really going to dive into the next couple days. So any other questions, thoughts in the classroom or virtually? All right, guys. So tomorrow, Joliet, Adriana was nice enough to print out the business plans. I'm going to go pick them up from her at Clark Street. And I will see you tomorrow in Joliet at noon. And then Skokie, Friday, noon. I will have business plans for you as well. Thank you, Mr. Bates. It's always a pleasure. Guys, remember, tonight, 5:30 p.m., hang out with me and with Lana and Victoria and with all of the other people that are coming. And you can record the session if you'd like. It's not the program won't start right at 5:30. We're gonna have some social time. And then we're going to dive into some really inspirational things of how you can buy real estate in the coming year. And it should be inspirational for your clients, but also for you. Maybe that's on your 1 year, 2 year, 5 year plan. Let's buy some real estate for ourselves and enrich our families and empower our futures. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.